Sucked a giant dick last week. Picks weren't good either.
Play action fakes it for pass end zone. Yes, touchdown.
Hi, and welcome to a well-grounded Genos Picks, and by that I mean I came crashing to the ground this past weekend as Daddy fell to 1-3 on the week with his only win coming in the only one I wanted. I never wanted a game more than the one I got right. The Packers shutting out the Seahawks 17-zip as Aaron Rodgers overcame the worst pandemic of our lifetime, played just days later in a fucking snowstorm. And of course he won. And another game I lost was the Browns because they had to play without Nick Chubb, who just like Rodgers had COVID, but no one talked about it because he was vaccinated with a breakthrough case. Although, come on, when you look like this guy, it should be called a breakout case. They break out of jail in handcuffs. All right, look. Regardless, Daddy lost that Browns game to snap what was, believe it or not, Garrett, a 7-game winning streak. Dating back to Week 8, opening pick of the Jets and Bengals, in which I said Mike White's middle name was incredibly. The best jokes are always doomed. That one never had a shot. In any case, Daddy now sits at 21-19, 53% against the spread. Meaning, you ready, Garrett? If you bet $100 on all 40 of those games and spent 160 hours watching football, you would be up $10. Which is exactly enough to cover the copay for the chest pains you got watching all these guys for a week when they didn't give a fuck about your money. So let's bypass any more formalities, see what I did, and give you this week's worth of stressors for that inevitable double bypass you're working on. I can't get enough of these guys. My girl's in town. She loves the Bills. The Bills are laying a TD to the Colts in Buffalo. After starting 0-3, the Colts are clicking, winning 4 of their last 5 to improve to even their record at 5-5. While the Bills are just 2 weeks removed from a stinker of a game that saw them lose to the Jaguars 9-6. Well, if you think 6 is a low number, here's an even lower number, 5. The fucking number of teams with a losing record the Colts have fucking beaten. Okay? Sure, Jonathan Taylor and the Colts were able to run wild against the likes of the Jets, the Jags, and the Dolphins, but let's see how fucking this guy, Taylor, does against the Bills' top-ranked defense. How about if I just tell you now? They're going to pound Jonathan Taylor so far into oblivion this weekend that he'll find himself sitting alongside Jonathan Taylor Thomas. As after an opening day loss in Buffalo to the Steelers, the Bills continue to show their genuine home improvement. See what I did? Winning their 4th straight by double digits. Take the Bills and lay the TD. My next pick, the Bears are getting 5 from the Ravens at Soldier Field. Hey, I'm not sure if you haven't noticed yet, but the Ravens aren't great. In fact, the only reason that they are good is because they have the second best Jackson ever when it comes to sneaking balls past young men. But much like that, Jackson, the Ravens defense has been moonwalking down the defensive rankings for the past 2 seasons. Excuse me 1 minute. Did I say I didn't like this video? Watch this. Has been moonwalking down the defensive rankings for the past 2 seasons and currently find themselves in the same position as those other Jackson victims, packed in the rear. I'd like to change my answer. I do like the video. He fucked them in the ass. Anyway, yeah, unlike the aforementioned Jackson, they won't know how to handle a young and slippery Justin Fields, although he will certainly make things increasingly hard for them. Don't be surprised if the Bears steal this one at home. Take the Bears in the 5 you're getting. For the second time in 3 weeks, Chargers are in a video they don't have to be. The Steelers are getting 6 in a hook from the Chargers in LA. Never will I be happier to lose a bet, but there is just no way the Chargers roll into a stadium filled with more black and gold than a Drake concert and fucking win by a TD. Sure, Ben may be out with COVID, may not be. Me and Garrett just saw that Mason Rudolph doesn't even know if he's playing or not. But even fucking if Mason Rudolph or a Mason Jar are under center, either one has to do is a half turn to hand the ball to Najee Harris so they can run all over a Chargers run defense that ranked at the bottom of the league going into this, and now the team comes to find out they may be without Joey Bosa. You know why, Garrett? Because he is unvaccinated vaccinated. They made sure you know that. But he came into contact with someone on with COVID-19, which cannot be surprising considering that despite the fact we have a vaccine, more people have COVID now than they did a year ago. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Facing a Ben Roethlisberger-less Steelers may be a shot in the arm the Chargers need, considering they lost 3 of 4, but don't expect this one to be easy. Take the Steelers and the TD they're practically getting. And now for my The Universe Fucking Provides, because I didn't have a punchline for this until I walked in and saw a news story out of a former NFL player. You ready? The G-Men are getting 11 from the Bucs in Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers are as good a team as the G-Men are a terrible one. But the Giants mean absolutely nothing to the Bucs, who know they won't be seeing them again this season, and they need only to beat them to move on, which is why I cannot see them blowing out the Giants, because as former NFL running back Zach Stacy showed us this week, you only beat the shit out of people you care about. And while you think the Bucs would be embarrassed by their loss to the Redskins last week, they aren't, because unlike Zach Stacy's stupid bitch of a girlfriend, they didn't see the beating they took coming. Hey, the Redskins may have been suspect this season, but their defense line had to come together eventually, which is exactly why the Bucs lost their second straight game to a no-name Washington team with a no-name quarterback. But Tom Brady is focused on one thing, getting a W in the win column and moving on. Is it getting a W in the win column? Or just putting a double, whatever, getting one in the win column and moving on. And I doubt a defense will be running wind sprints in the fourth quarter of a blowout with so many more formidable opponents coming up. The Bucs win this game, but the G-Men come in big on the back door. Take the G-Men and the fucking nearly dozen points you're getting. Those are Geno's picks. Gonna go grab one with the boss. Packed in the rear. I win. Come on, you love that one.